let's take on a more interesting momentum question. So first, let's just read it. A 3 kilogram object accelerates at 4 meters per second squared for 8 seconds. What is the change in momentum? So at first glance, this really doesn't seem to give us a lot of information with regards to momentum. But as a general note, which hopefully is in your notes, this right here, change in momentum. The moment we have change in momentum, which I can write like this, that is also equal to our impulse. So as a general note, if I'm able to calculate my impulse, if I have sufficient information to calculate my impulse, then I am actually determining what my change in momentum is. So let's write down what we know. We know that the mass is equal to 3 kilograms. We know that the acceleration is equal to 4 meters per second squared. And we know that the time is equal to 8 seconds. Okay, it's not looking that great, but let's just write down some of our tools from our toolbox. I know that impulse is equal to force times time. Okay, I have time, I do not have force. I know that momentum is equal to mass times velocity. Excuse me, I know mass, I do not know velocity. So now I have to look at, since I don't have sufficient information for either of those, what can I determine? Well, can I determine what my force is? I know my mass and my acceleration. F is equal to ma. So this looks like the direction I probably need to go. So I'm going to write down force is equal to mass times acceleration is equal to 3 times 4. So I have a 12 Newton force acting. Okay. Now that I know that, I can substitute it into my impulse formula. And I have impulse is equal to, I'm going to write my formula again, is equal to 12. And in my givens, I have the fact that t is equal to 8. So I'm going to write that down here. Okay. So 80, 96, that should give me 96. And I've got these crazy ones here. I'm going to write it as this with these units. Kilograms, meters per second. I could also write it as Newton seconds, but it is the same unit. Now, this is my calculated answer. So I'm going to go back up here. It says change in momentum, and I'm going to look at this fact that my change in momentum is equal to the impulse. So I can then say that my change in momentum is equal to 96 kilograms times meters per second. And this is, in fact, my answer to this question.